Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about Ascension, symptoms, the process, its effect on our life, our relationships, and the connection with Ayurveda in this video. So Ascension is a process of moving into the higher vibration energy or light. Okay, so on a global planetary level, there are energies or light coming into the world that holds the higher vibration and frequency. That does not mean that we are also ascending or the energy within us is also moving to that level of frequency or vibration. And so we're not necessarily aligned with what's happening externally as far as this light is concerned. So because of that discrepancy, there's all kinds of things that we are physically, mentally, and emotionally experiencing. So let me explain what Ascension is in a really simple terms. Ascension is not something that's out there. Yes, there's a higher light coming into the world, but at the same time, our collective light is also feeding into that light, is my understanding. You know, there are going to be many understandings about this topic, and no one definition or explanation is going to be enough. So we'll be talking about this as the time goes on. So Ascension is not something that's out there, it's internal. Ascending literally means that so before I go there, so in our body, we have energetic body. We have the chakra system. So we have the root chakra moving into the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, throat, third eye, and the crown chakra. So Ascension in the body is really moving from the base all the way to the crown. So that's an ongoing process. So it's not always this linear process that, once we move from 1, we go to 2, we go to 3, we go to 4, because it's always that back and forth, because we're living in this linear 3D human life, right? It's just a matter of how quickly can we identify our life, our behaviors, our thoughts, and our experiences, and how much awareness can we hold, and how we can, in an integrated way, move into the higher energy, so the higher realms. So once we go through the crown, we're moving into the higher realms, the multidimensionality. We're able to connect with the other dimensions. We're able to connect with that which is not visible. So literally, it's a process of moving above the solar plexus into the love, our divine speech, or our wisdom, our intuition, and our connection. So we become a conduit we become a channel for what's coming to us from the higher intelligence, and we are simply following it and living it in our human life. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge because we have a head, we have a mind, we have an ego. Being in the human form, we have ego, which is very much needed, but we haven't learned what to quite do with it. So we're still kind of, being pulled into the ego, and we're trying to go into the heart, the love. And so there's the battle going on. Second thing that's happening is that we are thinking that we can just automatically, choose love and light, and we can just, imagine it, and we will be it. And that is true to an extent. So I think temporarily, yes, we have to know that we have choices. We can choose love over fear anytime. We can imagine a better future and live our today like the future has already happened anytime. But we cannot forget that we are still in the body. Our tissues are still holding the memories of our past traumas and triggers. So without healing the past, the traumas and the triggers, and without being grounded, fully grounded in our beingness, we are kind of superficially in the love and light because we have chosen it. But there's a disintegration, right? So it's like, I'm choosing love and light. How come I am not feeling love and light? So that's a disintegration. That's a disassociation. Okay, so in order for us to be fully integrated, it is important to clean out the past, the healing part, so we become grounded, so we become emotionally, mentally healthy, so we realize that we're not some broken pieces, that we're not broken inside as we have been made to believe, that we are enough as we are. We become whole, we heal. So when we are grounded in that knowing, then ascending, then the natural process of healing is that we have more love energy available to us. Okay? We are naturally connected with the one unified field, right? So the unified field or the quantum field or the higher realms, I'm going to use these words interchangeably, although there's another, description and understanding of that. But for the purposes of this video, just understand that, pure consciousness or the unified field or the quantum field is one and the same thing. So this unified field or the pure consciousness has an information in it. Information has intelligence in it. So when we are ascending, after we have healed and been grounded and we are in harmony, we are naturally able to connect with that unified field. We are able to download or connect with the information or the intelligence of it. So in that way, we become the conduit and we simply follow. We simply follow the flow of intuition in our day-to-day life. So that's the process of ascension. But ascension cannot happen when our backpack is so heavy with all the past, unresolved, undigested experiences. Okay? So that's where the disintegration is coming from. Secondly, the ascension symptoms. So, that's what the reason, here's why we are having ascension symptoms. When there's higher light coming in, and we have not done the work, we have not gone through the process, we have not cultured our nervous system enough to hold that light. So the body can't hold the light that's coming in. It's like the container has not big enough yet. So when I talk about container, it's not the physical container. There's a level of energy. So the nervous system has to be cultured, has to be nurtured, so it can hold the higher light and the higher frequency and the higher vibration. When that's not there, there's going to be another discord, right? The internal isn't ready, but the external is there. So there's that disharmony, disintegration. And there's always, there's always a little bit of disintegration happening because the light is coming in faster than our body is able to integrate, because we're living in the human world. We're still trying to process last year. We're still trying to figure out our life. So we're kind of doing this zigzag. We're kind of going forward, backward, forward, backward. But if we're doing it with awareness and that knowing, that can make a whole lot of difference in us integrating this light into our body, into our being. So the discord is leading to, lack of sleep or, headaches or some other kinds of symptoms, because the body is trying to get ready to hold that light. So there's nothing to fear. But it's really important. That's when it's really important that we take care of the need of the body. Maybe there is a need to rest more. Maybe there's a need to eat better. Maybe there's a need to just be calm and be with nature so we can empty out the space in our mind. So we become a solid, a better container for the higher energy light that is coming in. Having said that, we can't, the shadow side of this ascension is we cannot chalk everything to ascension symptoms. Some symptoms we are experiencing because we just have not, put in good habits or good choices into our life. So that's the shadow side. And we can't just say, oh, it must be the ascension symptoms, but we are watching TV till 3 in the morning and then saying, oh, that's why I wasn't able to sleep. No, it's not because of the ascension symptoms, it's because you have passed the window where good sleep can naturally occur. So we want to watch out for that. So remember that the shadow side is always at play because we're in the human life. More enlightened, more light we have in the body, the shadow side also increases, it becomes big. Okay, so we have to really be aware. And the second thing that interesting conversations I'm having with my clients is like, I'm ascending, my partner is not. And that's like making me mad. So here, let's make something clear. When we live in the higher realms of love, intelligence, intuition, we have a deeper level of acceptance. We have a deeper level of expanded love, which is able to hold all, like the ocean can hold everything. So if we are getting annoyed because someone is coming along at the same rate you are, then perhaps you're not that further along than you think, right? Because ascension doesn't mean it's living, it's how are we living. Can we have that deeper, expanded level of acceptance that includes everybody and anybody who is full of fear, who's still struggling with their self-esteem, who's still struggling with their mental, emotional health? That's our job. We can hold all of that. So then everything becomes part and parcel of love. We don't kick it out. We don't say, well, you, that fearful, controlling person over there, go over there, you're not coming with me. That's not ascension. The point of ascension is so we all become one. So the point of ascension is not to separate us further, it is to expand our heart enough that we hold space for everyone. There's room for fear. There's room for, there's room for worthlessness. There's room for being victimized. There's room for control. All of this is part of love. So if you are ascending, if one person is really living the ascension, then that person is enough to include anybody that's in their circle, to in that higher level of acceptance and love, and make it part of the oneness, the one unified field, make it part of the pure consciousness. So rather than everybody to come up with you because you're thinking you're at this higher level, we need to let go of the notion that something is higher, someone is lower. We are continuously then increasing the gap, right? So the point of ascension is to unite, is not to separate. So we have to, so we're being asked to soften, open the heart, and allow, without judgment, everyone, no matter where they are. Okay? So it is for you. If you think that you are into the higher vibration, it is then for you to open the heart, to bring everybody else along with it, because you can. than to tell somebody, oh, you need to let go of the fear. It doesn't happen like that. We don't let go of the fear because someone tells us we have to let go of the fear. We have to experience something other than fear, which is love. We can create that experience for someone else by loving them, by accepting them, by allowing them to be where they are, by pure non-judgment of them. That's living ascension. That's living peace on earth. So there's absolutely no problem in any relationships if no one is coming along with you. They don't need to. No one needs to go along with anybody, really. So more we move into the higher realms, become who we truly are, we begin to realize that all is one. There's no separation. There's no lower or higher even. Because it's all part and parcel of that one unified field. When we connect with it, it makes sense to us. When we don't connect with it, then we struggle. But you modeling that oneness may be the way the person who hasn't experienced the oneness gets to experience it. You are the universe. You are pure consciousness. It's not somewhere out there. It's you. So we can live it in our lives and let everyone have a taste of it. So anyways, that's enough for this video. I'll be talking about this topic in more detail in my upcoming podcast next week, so stay tuned.